Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Decorating Happily Ever After. I'm Jeffrey Kevin. Today's segment I call Things That Make My Heart Red.
If I give my heart to you.
It's a little saying that we say in our house that basically means my favorite things. And as you can see, one of my favorite things to collect is cake stands. I have to give props to Martha Stewart. It was her magazine and her TV show that got me interested in cake stands. She also popularized the usage of cake stands, not just for displaying a cake, but for tiering, making different levels, stacking cupcakes, and also using them for decorative purposes. Today, I want to share with you some of the cake stands that I've collected over the years. This is not my entire collection, but it's all I can fit on the table. And I also want to show you some other ways that I use cake stands in my kitchen and dining room and breakfast room. I use them as ways to display things, sort of like you might use books on a table or in a bookcase to make things different heights. I do the same thing with my cake stands, and it's a good way to be able to keep them out. Most of my cake stands I keep out. There's a few that I put away, but most of these reside somewhere in the kitchen, dining room, and breakfast room. So let me show you my collection. When I first began collecting cake stands, I mostly collected the clear antique stands. This is part of my collection. This is a Jacob's Tears. Around the top it has the tear-shaped little points. I've got another old one. I'm not sure what the pattern is on that one. I've also got a round Fostoria and a square Fostoria. I've added a dome to several of my cake stands. When I find domes that I like, I buy them, and they usually will fit one of my cake stands that I have. And this particular one fit this Fostoria round stand perfectly. I've also got an old clear Mosier cake stand, and I've put a tall dome on it. Sometime whenever I'm accessorizing, I'll set things under the dome, or I'll use them strictly for display. Here I have my jadeite cake stands. I've got the 3 different sizes. I tier these a lot. I use them at Easter time to put cupcakes on, birthday parties. I also have the pink milk glass that I use. They're really handy at Valentine's Day and for anything pastel. These are my red cake stands. I've got a square, I've got a hobnail, small little round one. I've got another thistle pattern. I've got the cupcake stand that's in red. And I have a couple of the mid-size in the red. These are Mosier. These are reproduction cake stands. The black makes for a pretty contrast. I also have my milk glass cake stands. Some of these are old, some of them are reproductions. I have a square one, and round, a couple different sizes. And here I also have the Vaseline glass. I've got a Mosier one on the bottom, and I don't think it's exactly buttons and bows, but it sort of looks like that pattern. And I've got 2 other sizes on the top. Now the antique versions of these are supposed to have, I believe it's uranium in them that makes them glow under a black light. But I've checked these and they do glow under a black light. I've also got some porcelain cake stands. I have a blue and white cake stand. I've got a floral. And then I also have this pretty reproduction porcelain stand that I've set a dome on. And you can do that with any cake stand. It really doesn't have to come with a dome, but you can add one if you like. I've also got some small little cupcake stands. I think I have a dozen of these, and they're handy for putting cupcakes on. This is a wire cake stand, kind of fun for display. Now here in the back, I've got a couple of green metal cake stands. I use these a lot for birthday parties. I also use them to set carafes on. Sometimes you have to set those on the edge of the table, and by having the cake stands, it lifts them up, makes them a little more accessible. And I've used those. I've got some present carafes that I use at Christmas time that are red and green. I put those on those. I've actually got 3 of the green ones. And then these are my amber cake stands. On the bottom, I've got a contemporary one that's sort of a terracotta or clay type. And then I've got 2 old cake stands that are amber. I use these a lot in the fall. They're pretty with my pumpkins and my fall settings. Then I've also got a metal cake stand here that makes me think of a Coca-Cola cap. It's sort of a bronze color. This is not my entire collection. At last count, I have about 75. I've also got wood cake stands that I have at my little cabin. I don't have those here. And I also have holiday cake stands that are peppermints and holly. I've got some Easter ones as well. To show you how I use cake stands in display, this is an antique sideboard that's in our dining room. And I've used cake stands here. I've got the clear Mosier cake stands that I put domes on. And then under the domes, I've got teapots. They're in the back. I've tiered a couple. And then here's another one that I put a larger dome with a teapot under. This is a bookcase that I have in my kitchen that I've repurposed as a china cabinet. One way that I use cake stands is to make different tiers so that I can fit more in. By raising up some things, I can fit other things underneath. I can also get more staggered heights, which help to fill up the cabinet. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a comment below and let me know what you collect. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, Decorating Happily Ever After, and be sure and turn on the notifications bell so you never miss a video. I'm Jeffrey Kevin, hoping that you decorate happily ever after. Bye-bye now.
If I give my heart to you